And now you're tuning in to the Women Unplugged podcast.
Hey loves, happy new year, and we're back. It's your girl Bougie Candy giving you all the juice and all the tea.
And of course, it's your fly girl EB with a little bit of lifestyle and a lot of fashion.
And I'm IC1, here to open your mind and dive into your spiritual soul.
Yes, I want to start off first and foremost by saying to all of our loves that Lavina J will not be returning to the show. She has been an amazing host from the beginning on this platform, and we support her and we wish her the very best in all of her endeavors. Now, we have some very special guests in the building visiting us for the second half of the season. So let's introduce our first guest, y'all. I am so excited. This young lady is so chic and fabulous. She's an artist manager and consultant, and she's worked with many A-listers in the music industry. Now she is branching out on her own, starting her own company called Alexandra LLC. So without further ado, and drum roll, please, give it up for Miss Alexandra Higgs. Come on over here, girl.
Yes.
Come here.
Hey, honey.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me. Okay.
This is actually a very special guest to me because Alexandria and I actually grew up together. We've known each other since we were probably about 8 or 9 years old.
Yep.
Yeah, and we the way we grew up together was really weird because we grew up in a church community, so we would see each other every Sunday, and we would also see each other we would go on these long retreats together and be wild women in the woods. You know what I mean?
I love it. Wild women in the woods. Wild women in the
Which
woods.
explains a lot of things about me, I'm sure. But yeah, no, she's definitely a big part of who I am, as a child, becoming who I was, definitely, yeah.
I love seeing this reunion with you guys.
Yes.
And it's just giving me life. Okay.
Sisterhood, womanhood. I love it.
So, Alex, what just made you one day wake up, say, I want to start my own company? What happened there?
There's many layers to that answer. I was managing a music venue here in Atlanta for a very, very, very long time. And then I was laid off top of quarantine, And so at first I was like, that's a blow to the ego. But after that, I was kind of like, I needed this break. And so I took, then the last 10 plus months, kicking it, chilling, catching up on some much needed rest. And then I just kind of did it. I've had a lot of people that I've worked with, a lot of people on my network, artist managers, or agents. They've been pushing me for years, to branch off from my own company. And it's one thing when you when someone else believes in you, but you got to believe it in yourself. And so it took me a while to see that. And I was like, do I really want to do this? Do I not want to do that? And so I was like, I'll just try it out. And I was fortunate enough to meet the artist that I'm currently managing right now. His name is Venice. So he lives in my loft building. And so, top of quarantine, all my neighbors were on the rooftop having a good time.
Breaking rules.
Pretty much. And so,
That sounded like it was lit. Oh, girl.
But one night we were having a wine night and he was just like, let me share you my music. And I looked at him and I was like, let's work together. And then that's literally how that came about. We were just wine drunk.
Divine
at his
timing.
house.
I love
Pretty
it.
much.
Yes.
Pretty much. So, yeah.
And honestly, I'm not surprised at all that you ended up in management because your personality is very much
You think so?
yeah. What?
And that's so crazy because, we live in Atlanta, right? So we have so many artists and we've had multiple artists on our show, and I'm an artist as well. So as an artist manager or consultant, what are 3 major tips that you can give to an artist to help them get their music more exposure or to pretty much help them in their career?
Okay. So, unfortunately, since live music is up in the air right now, I would say live music is the best part. It's really easy to get on someone's ticket to be an opener low key if you just know people or you just continue to push certain artists or their managers. That is the main way pre-COVID or once we're free from the shackles. But right now, while we're in this, weird timing, definitely TikTok And like
I love it.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I did not even think about that.
TikTok.
That's where it's at, though.
Girl, my best friend just made me download TikTok because I keep sending her like Twitter TikToks and she's over it. So
I still don't have it, so I do need to get it.
yeah, I'm gonna force you to download TikTok. Okay, if I have to do it, you gotta do it. But definitely TikTok. It's really interesting. You can create your own dances to whatever your own music. Obviously, create your own choreo, create your little 60-minute video, and boom, viral. Okay. The next one would be Clubhouse. Are y'all on Clubhouse?
Yes. Clubhouse.
Yes.
Definitely changing the game. What?
Clubhouse is
Interesting.
It's very
okay.
interesting.
Sometimes not changing the game, but sometimes definitely changing.
Yeah.
The game. Like
What I found with Clubhouse though is that like they have several different like artist rooms that you can like participate in and just like share your music. I will say though, you definitely have to use your discernment when it comes to
Yes,
Clubhouse
you do.
because one thing I love about Clubhouse is like it's shining light of the people who aren't really like know what they're doing in this industry. So make sure you just like vet the chats that you're going into. Definitely take the feedback if it's constructive. If not, leave it at the door. And then lastly, even though Instagram is like low key dying, Instagram's another one.
big time dying.
I know people like go live all the time. I'm not a live person. I don't watch people's lives, but like everyone's going live all the time. If you have the following, you can totally do like a live streaming show if you have the following on Instagram. If not, same thing as TikTok, create your own like Instagram reel.
Yeah.
And just push it that way. So
Got you.
yeah.
Those are some great tips.
Those are some great tips.
Yeah. Okay. So if someone was interested in a consultation, how would
Right.
they go about finding you?
Okay, so you can either follow me on Instagram or you can go to my website, alexandrahiggs.com. There's a consult me button. On there, you can schedule a Calendly link for like a 30-minute free session so I can get a feel of what kind of music you're into, what you're trying to do, what your goals are, and we can like formulate a plan from there.
Yes, I love that.
That
That
sounds
is
great.
awesome. We are so excited to have you.
Yes.
We want you to stick around with us today as we talk about sex, women, music.
Yes. Ladies, so I don't know if you all have heard or not, right? But Lifetime is doing, you know what they do. They be doing their movies.
Yeah.
They be doing their biopics on people. And they have one coming up on Salt-N-Pepa. Now, I don't know if y'all know about Salt-N-Pepa or not, but Salt-N-Pepa and BJ Spinderella were a legendary women rap group who changed the game, the industry, with their risky songs about sex and men back in the day. So before Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion had WAP, Salt-N-Pepa had hits like Let's Talk About Sex,
Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be.
Right?
Let's talk about sex.
They had
Let's
other
talk about
hits
sex.
like Shoop. They had other hits like Push It. They had other hits like What a Man.
What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. What a mighty, mighty good man.
They had so many hits, and I'm over here stuttering. I was over here trying to think about other songs, but trying to. Okay, so they had a lot of hits, right? And they definitely paved the way for a lot of women to speak on their sexuality as a form of expression, empowerment, and freedom. So most female rap artists, you know, have a tendency to talk about sex and men in their music. Still to this very day, you know, especially when we're starting to look at all of the mainstream female artists that we may listen to on the radio or that we may see when we turn on Vivo, VH1, BET, etc. So I'm gonna start from Icy One and work my way down. Do you think the message has changed in the way the female hip hop artists speak on sexuality since like from the 80s to the 90s until now?
Do I think that it has changed? Not that much, honestly, but I think that the conversation needs to continue. First of all, I think it's really important that the conversation about sex continues and we continue to like, you know, be overly sexual and push the fact that it's okay for us to be sexy because it's natural and like we're humans, but also like where's the spiritual side and the connection and sex and like it's not just what feels good, but like also or what looks good, but like just being with another human and like experiencing what it's like to really like be vulnerable.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what sex is about. I think, yes, absolutely, the conversation needs to change. I don't think necessarily that it has. I think it's very similar, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. I like.
What about you, Alexandria?
I think it's kind of like a 50-50 split. Like Sammy said, yes, like the message is still the same. I think how the women are going about it now, though, is fierce. And they need to continue on doing that because, you know, the music industry is very much so like built for men by men, right?
Male dominated, of course.
Exactly. Yes. And so we, I say we because as women and as, you know, I'm not a rap artist, but I embody that, you know, like Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B have definitely taken the over sexuality of Black women specifically in this industry and really have used it to like pivot it to to work for themselves.
They've capitalized off of it, which a lot of other, like you said, males have done in the industry as well. They've capitalized off the most degrading image or off the most degrading
but also
stereotype.
Also with that though, right now the message, yes, is very much the same. It's just working it better for the women because we're making it work for ourselves. And the men are mad. Men are scared. Okay, these men are.
So you feel like they're intimidated? Yeah,
absolutely. Like they're like, oh, how are these women taking something that we made for us and now making it work for them and making more money than us? So they're salty. Like for that.
What do you got to say about this, Fire or EB? Do you feel like the way we're expressing our sexuality has changed since the 80s and the 90s until now?
I don't. I can agree with Alex and Icy Juan for sure, because when you just look at female rappers right now, I can name 15 right now. That has never happened.
Right.
In the 90s, in the 80s, it may have been 2
maybe
to 3. But now I think that because it's more, we see it more, we hear it more, but it has not changed. And I just think that at the end of the day, it's confidence, you know, and yes, we switched it, and I am going to say we because I'm a woman and I love music and I am in that industry. So we've switched it to the point where, yes, we are going to use our sexuality and the things that we say, the things that we feel, you know, and put it to the forefront to sell ourselves because men had already been doing it.
Right.
For
So
years.
now you don't have to pay me to just be in your video naked. I can spit and say something behind it and still be naked and show my ass and get paid.
Get this money.
In my own video. That's my video, not your video,
Right.
sir.
So I don't think it's changed. I just think that it's so much more of it now.
Absolutely.
So that's why I think a lot of people are like, what is this?
Yeah.
Why are we listening to this? But I mean,
women are
Trina
taking
told us
over.
already.
So then, you know, like, okay, since we were talking about Cardi B, you know how she keeps getting so much backlash.
Yeah, she does.
Yes.
And she's telling people like, hey, I make music for adults. You know what I'm saying?
This ain't no kids, Bob.
This is
that
clearly that I'm not making music for children.
It's actually a point that she is.
But I guess, okay, so like you got, like we've been saying, like, has it changed? No, because they were talking about Juicy Fruit back in the day. Just like they're talking about WAP, you know, today.
Literally.
It's the same message, but like Sam was saying, I do feel like at the same time, we're focusing so much more on the materialistic side, more so, and the lower energy side of the just sexual satisfaction than us really focusing on partnership or union or unionship with an actual person, like a higher connection. So we're starting to get into muddy waters a little bit because it's like women, we're the mothers. So we're the first teachers. Not to take the blame away or to try to say that it's okay for one side to do it and it's not okay for the other. It's the overall thing that we have to address on both sides. You know, the image that we're really portraying and the stereotype that we're kind of pushing on a global scale. And now that we do have so many women that are doing it, it's kind of starting to become even more of a trend now because like I said, women, we're the first teachers.
Absolutely.
And just like you seen Cardi B's daughter, you over there dancing your song too. Like That's what's going to happen, whether you want it to or not. And until we start taking that type of approach with it in the music industry, male or female, realizing like, okay, yeah, I may be an adult and I may be making music for adults, but whether I want to be or not, I'm being idolized. Whether I want to be or not, I'm a role model.
Yeah.
We got to start being more mindful on those things, and then maybe we will start seeing more platforms or more of a surplus of people who are going to be more like her. Or your neo soul rather than
but
such
it
a
takes
more
me
provocative.
What I do want to say is like, I listen to a lot of female rappers, and like I do want to make a side note because like there are a lot of women in the game that are representing for women in a totally different way. They're like Flo Milli,
1,000%.
There's so like Flo Milli is an example that because she's somebody that I really love, and she's young. She's like super young. She just turned like 19. She might be 20 years old, and she's making a ton of money purely off of being a boss.
Right.
That is it. Purely off of just being a boss. There's people like Missy Elliott who have been doing it for the longest time, taking something very sexy and making it like relatable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Making it like understandable in a way that's not like totally provocative. And,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And still are doing things that are like beautiful and sexy and fun.
Yeah.
That aren't butt naked.
Right. Come on.
I think that's the main point is like there are other examples throughout history. There's been so many other artists. And then today, especially, I want to point out the fact that there's people that are still coming up in the industry. Like, I listen to a lot of male rappers, like a ton of male rappers. And there's people like Flo Milli, even people are not a big fan of her, but Bad Baby is doing, you know.
Sure. You gotta give her props.
You gotta give Bad Baby her props. She came from like literally
The gutter of Florida.
and Dr. Phil, bro. She came from like literally she's a rapper that came from Dr. Phil.
I'm done.
Can we just take a moment of silence for that? Because how? Right? But this was before 2020 anyways. But it's a real thing, and like there's people that are in the industry that are trying to do things that are different, that are creating like the path for you to go and like do something that is, I mean, honestly, not new, but important.
Right.
We need like more examples.
Right.
Of,
Absolutely.
You know, what women are. But it's not like what women should be. Like women are sensual.
What we actually
Absolutely.
are.
You know what
We're
I'm saying?
dynamic creatures. There's
We're
so many
dynamic
different
creatures.
So that kind of ties directly into my final question, which is, so what do you think you want to see in the future for women in hip hop? I'm gonna start it with EB.
I would like to see some more lyricists.
Woo!
Thank you.
Like, it's a lot of female rappers that, have a flow. It's a lot of female rappers that say catchy things. But it's not a lot of lyricists. And I need that.
Yeah.
If we're gonna come correct and come for the man, we need lyricists.
Yeah,
I agree.
Absolutely.
We're gonna be added to
That's
the Hall of
it.
Fame. We need some Hall of Famers, right?
Hello.
Okay,
Thank
because
you.
I'm from New York, so I'm with you on the lyricist.
Yes.
Period.
But
though.
for me,
Yes.
I guess for me, it's more diversity. You just in general, when it comes to the genres, when it comes to the lyrics, when it comes to the image, when it comes to just everything. I want to see more diversity coming from the women to really, like you just said, pave the way for any girl out there. I don't want that girl to feel like she gotta be stacked like Megan Thee Stallion or Cardi or Nicki.
Gotta have the
to be
Megan
out
knees.
here.
Right.
Can't go nowhere without the Megan
You
knees
gotta have
nowadays.
a Megan knee.
Right. You
And I
can't go
don't have
nowhere
those.
without the Megan knees nowadays.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to feel like that's what you have, because idealistically, not all of them have prosthetic bodies, but it's not right.
Yes,
Girl, it's not.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna say it's right or wrong. It's not about it being right or wrong, but it's not realistic because everybody has different body types. Everybody has different talents.
Yes.
Everybody has different goals, right? So I just want to see more diversity and more representation.
And like honestly, a lot of that is fake too. Like a lot of that you're seeing on.
But that's
in
what
the
the
industry
only reason
is
why I
not
brought,
real.
and let me be very real, 'cause I'm not a hater. I'm not bringing up the prosthetic body types to try to take shots, but I'm saying that because a lot of girls or women are looking at these women not knowing that it's prosthetic and aiming for that to be their body type, and that's unrealistic.
Correct.
And it's also selling a lot of fake noses.
Yeah,
boobs, so
it's just unrealistic. Like for me, as a model, I can go and say, okay, I can do a fitness shoot, but I'm not going to lie to nobody and be like, hey, I work out and I do this. This is my natural body.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like maybe no matter how much I eat or work out, I may never be your size, Evie.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? No matter how much you diet or work out, you may never be my size.
Right. I know.
And that's what I mean by setting unrealistic goals. We need to see more representation. I need to see more skinny girls, thick girls, chocolate girls, light skinned girls, mixed girls, short girls, big girls.
I love Lizzo. I know she gets a lot of flack too as well, but Lizzo is like also like
big reppin'.
Yeah, she's like spearheading the whole
I love
Lizzo
Lizzo.
community. I fucking love that. Like,
So what do you want to
Living
see
for Lizzo.
Okay,
in the
so,
future?
pause,
Because you know what I'm saying?
right.
You may be the go-to.
no, I don't know. It's a lot of pressure, but low key, y'all both already said my answers. Like, I really want more diversity, but I want more uniqueness. So the uniqueness comes from like the lyricism, like you were saying, EB. It needs to be. I want to see different flows because I still feel like a lot of the female rappers these days are still using like the old school male rapper like really aggressive flow. Soften it up, baby.
We're women.
Yeah, and not even like that. You know, like we don't have to be soft all the way to be a woman, but like definitely soften up the tone. Give me some more uniqueness. Again, like give me some like lyrics that
where I am.
Yeah, exactly. I need substance in the music. I need substance. There's no substance. It's still like, oh, I'm gonna fuck these men and da-da-da-da-da, like whatever, money and da-da-da-da. Like you said, it doesn't make any sense. Like what? I'm not saying like women can't be go-getters because that's what we do. Obviously, every day we wake up, we choose chaos. But like at the same time, there's other messages that we do as well.
That's what I'm saying.
And bring that into that,
come on.
and like let's actually have a conversation about having a natural body. Like you said, like I have been, working on my workout journey, whatever, but I low-key feel like there's so much more pressure and I can't focus on like what I'm trying to do. So if you're focused on your body all the time because that's what society says and that's what the music says, that's taking away from your music. Like let's focus on your music first and then you can get there later. Like you don't have to compare, stop with the comparison and just embrace what you have. And like you said, bring what you have to the table and make it work for you. That's all I want to see.
Ultimately, I think I'm not a radio person. I don't really listen to the radio. I hear stuff that's on the radio, obviously, because it's in commercials and you're going to like hear your friend singing it, whatever. The person right next to you is blasting Drake every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's your budget, Drake, by the way. FYI.
I don't want your budget. I just want your phone
Endless
number.
spins, okay? Drake has
black card.
spins,
The
okay?
black card.
I don't want the black card again.
I want the black card.
Just call me. You feel me? Once, twice.
She wants the closet. That's what she wants.
The black card and the Maybach.
Anyways, but no, I listen to a lot of local artists, a lot of underground artists, and like there's a lot of people that don't have big names. They might have a following of 600 people, but they are, like really going at it with the lyrics. They really are doing something different. And I would like to see platforms that create a place for those types of people to elevate themselves over all of the stuff that's going on in the radio. It's like there's so much noise that we can't even like really focus in on the person that's like telling their story genuinely.
But realistically, is that going to happen?
I hope so.
No.
I really do hope
that's
so.
just not how the music industry is
labels
set
got
up.
the budgets.
Ace Hood
to spend
Independent
the
artists?
BS all day and night.
Yes, they do, girl.
Until infinity and beyond.
Like, literally though.
You gonna hear the same song on 2 radio stations before you hear the local artist with talent.
Like period. Every single time. Every single time.
Like so, we're all preaching the same thing because we said such a mouthful. If you all didn't take anything else from this topic, please make sure to tell your homegirl or your next local artist that's a female, step it up, sis.
Step it up, sis.
Let's represent. Let's break out the box. Let's create a pathway for as many ladies who are trying to get in the game as possible. Let's step up the lyrics and let's step up the game, So,
Snaps to that.
you know what? And we cannot forget. Okay. We can't forget. You better not forget.
Okay.
All right, that it's time to watch the Salt-N-Pepa movie.
Boom.
You know, the biopic that's on Lifetime. You all can catch it January 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Lifetime.
Yes.
And that is the juicy topic for the day.
Yes. I like that.